Hey y'all. So it is Nefertiti. So do you want to find out 8 hacks for oily skin? So then continue watching so you can learn more on how to keep your oily skin under control. So you want to make sure you're deep cleaning your face. So what does that mean? So that means that you're using skincare products that help to pull the excess oil from out of your face. So you want to make sure that it's not only pulling the oil from the surface, but from deep within your pores. So there are some skincare products that don't pull the oil from deep within your pores, and it only takes the oil from the surface. And then you also want to make sure that you're using a cleanser that doesn't dry out your face, because sometimes some of the cleansers that's made for oily skin, what it will do is it will pull out both the good oils and the bad oils, and that's a no-no. You don't want to do that because you need the good oils in your face. So when you take out the good oils and the bad oils, now your face is saying like, oh my gosh, I need to produce more oil, and now your skin becomes even more oilier, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that that's not the case with the products that you're using. And do you know that you actually combat oil with oil? So if you have oily skin, a lot of times people with oily skin was like, oh, I don't need to moisturize, or oh, I shouldn't use a face oil, like, oh, I want to stay away from oil because I have oily skin. But if you have a face oil that you use, you know what it will tell your face? It will actually tell your skin like, oh, I have enough oil. It will trick your face to thinking that it has enough oil, and it won't overproduce oil. So you're actually using something with oil. So you can use an oil-based product. You can use a tea tree product, something with aloe, something with marula oil. You can use a product, you can use a product that's a clay-based product. And you want something that helps with inflammation and pulling bacteria. So that's why you also want to make sure, like I said, making sure you're using a moisturizer, still using the oil, and making sure that you're still using a face mask as well. So that's still important even if you have oily skin. The second skincare hack for oily skin. So this will be good for oily skin or combination. So what you could do is feel free to drop down what kind of your skincare type. Because I don't have oily skin, but I know I've had a lot of people reach out to me who have oily skin, and they're always asking like, oh, how do I get my oily skin under control? So I figured I'll share these tips with you all. So you want to use a primer. If you wear makeup, make sure you use a primer that is not silicone based. And the reason for that is a silicone based primer is not good for someone who has really oily skin. It's not good at all. So it helps to make your face actually oilier. So you just definitely want to stay away from that. And nowadays, a lot of the primers that are out there are silicone based. So you want to make sure that you're really looking at the ingredients of the products that you're using for your face. And you know, a primer obviously is important before you put on makeup, because just like how you use a primer before you paint a wall white, you want to use a primer before you put on your makeup. And if you unsure of the effectiveness of using a primer, catch my last video that I did on Labor Day, and it shows the benefits of actually using a primer and setting spray for your makeup. Okay, so number 4. So if your face is oily in your T-zone, you want to make sure you could use, so let's say if you have oily face here, which is your T-zone, actually like a T, right? Simple enough. So you can actually put the concealer there first, and that will help to combat the oil that's on your face. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. And number 5, so the 5th hack for oily skin. You want to make sure that you're using some sort of translucent powder with a wet sponge. So if you have oily skin, so after you put on your primer, you put on your foundation, and then when you put on the translucent powder, you want to make sure you're using a wet sponge. And what that does is it helps to make sure that it presses the translucent powder into the foundation, helping to seal in that oil that likes to seep through your makeup, and will prevent that from happening. So that's very important to do. Okay, and then number 6. So when you're touching up during the day, you use a translucent powder as well. So you still will use that. So you won't you use the translucent powder. And the reason why you use the translucent powder, because you want to just absorb that excess oil. And let's say if you don't have a translucent powder, you can even use like a napkin and kind of just blot your face. Okay? But the translucent powder is good to use because it will prevent your face from looking like cakey and help you to have like a flawless finish. So this is, like I said, it's going to be very quick. And I already said you can use like a blotting paper or a clean napkin, because sometimes they sell those all papers, but I don't even know. I forgot. I think it's like rice paper or something, where you literally just dab the oil. But why not use something you already have? You already need translucent powder for your makeup. Why not use that, or just use a napkin and kind of gently blot it? And then the last thing, you want to make sure that you're staying hydrated, because if you're not hydrating your body enough, your body is going to feel like it needs to produce more oil in order to help balance your skin. And then it's going to overproduce the oil, and that's why you'll have either oily face altogether or oily T-zone area. So I hope that these 8 tips were helpful. If they were helpful to you, then definitely let me know. If they were helpful, feel free to share with others. If you feel like these tips provided value, maybe there could be someone that could benefit from hearing these tips. And if these tips were helpful, feel free to also share it on your wall so you could easily get to it in the future. All right, y'all. Hope everyone has a wonderful evening and take care. Peace.